They say every artist leaves a piece of his soul in his work. But what happens when the world takes everything from the artist except that soul? This is the story of a man who lost his colors and still found a way to paint hope. In the corner of a quiet street in New York, there was a man named Riyaz who painted portraits on the sidewalk. He had no studio, no fame, just a wooden easel, a few brushes, and a dream that refused to die. Every morning he set up his small stand near a cafe. People walked by, some curious, some hurried, most without even looking. A few would stop and hand him $1 for a sketch, but most days he earned nothing. Still, he smiled, because every face he painted was another chance to understand the colors of life. His father once told him, "Art doesn't feed you, son. The world only pays for results, not dreams." But Riyaz never believed that. He used to say, "If the world can't see beauty, then maybe I was born to show it." One afternoon, a little boy stopped by. He stood quietly, watching Riyaz mix paints with an old, trembling hand. After a while, the boy asked softly, "Why do you keep painting here every day? No one even looks at you." Riyaz smiled and said, "Because one day someone will. And when they do, I want to be ready." The boy began visiting him every evening after school. Sometimes he brought leftover bread, sometimes just questions about colors and dreams. Riyaz taught him how to hold a brush, how to see sunlight hidden inside shadows, how to turn mistakes into art. But one stormy night, everything changed. The rain flooded the street, soaking every painting Riyaz had ever made. By morning, nothing remained but torn paper and muddy colors. He sat there in silence, hands covered in ruined paint, watching his dreams wash away. The little boy found him there and whispered, "Are you okay?" Riyaz didn't answer at first. Then, with a faint smile, he said, "It's all right. Maybe the rain wanted to paint its own story today." That night, when the city slept, he carried his brushes to a nearby wall. Under a flickering streetlight, he began painting with what little color he had left. By dawn, the wall had become a masterpiece. A young boy holding a bright umbrella, standing in a storm, surrounded by chaos but untouched by fear. At the bottom, Riyaz wrote in small letters, "When colors fade, that's when you find which ones truly stay." The next morning, people gathered. They took photos. Someone posted it online. Within hours, it spread across the city. A local magazine called it the Wall of Hope. Reporters searched for the painter, but Riyaz never showed up again. All they found was his old easel leaning quietly against the wall he painted. Weeks later, someone noticed something new. Right under his signature, the little boy had written 3 simple words: "He taught me hope." And that wall still stands today, a reminder that even when life erases your colors, you can still paint with your heart. Because sometimes the most beautiful art is born from the darkest nights. Dream, paint, repeat. Sleepy Tales Planet.